Most weight loss plans are one size fits all, not taking into account each person's individual needs. Noom is here to change that. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain. But it also takes into account your unique biological factors, which also affect weight loss success. The program helps you understand the science behind your eating choices and why you have cravings. Everyone's journey is different, so your daily lessons are personalized to you and your goals. One of the great things about Noom is that it's nourishing instead of restrictive. They focus on progress instead of perfection. You don't have to give up carbs, or anything for that matter. Have cravings? Food FOMO? Noom can help you lose weight while still enjoying your favorite foods. To date, Noom has helped more than 5.2 million people lose weight. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. That's Noom.com.
This is the Jeanine Pirro Show. Now, here's Judge Jeanine Pirro.
Welcome back to the Judge Jeanine Tunnel to Towers Foundation Show. Joining us now is that New York Post columnist, Fox News contributor, author, and I think she should add investigator, inspector, and the woman who is like a dog with a bone who just doesn't give up on it. Please join me in welcoming Miranda Devine to the Judge Jeanine Tunnel to Towers Foundation Show. You know, very quickly, Miranda, before I get to you, I just want my listeners who are, I'm sure, all familiar with you, but Miranda Devine is the one who really unearthed all of the information on that laptop. As you recall, the New York Post went with the story when social media and big tech and the Dems and mainstream media shut it all down. But the book is Laptop from Hell and the Big Guy. So she has been incredible in unearthing what has happened, and we all owe her a debt of gratitude for that. She also is someone who is a regular writer for the New York Post, and I always read what she has on. And so, Miranda, welcome to the Judge Jeanine Tunnel to Towers Foundation Show. So you are someone who I just want to get a final thought on. Joe Biden, at the end of all of this laptop from hell, decides that he's going to pardon Hunter Biden, and he's going to pardon him for, 11 years for anything he may have done. Curiously, for those years where the Department of Justice allowed the statute of limitations to run, which would have prevented a prosecution. But it's almost like after all these years and all of the violations, the whistleblowers, the unequivocal guilt on the part of the corruption of this family, now there's a pardon and it all just goes away?
Good morning, Jeanine. Look, yes, it does all go away. At least in the mind of Joe Biden. And certainly Hunter is protected now for this staggering, unprecedented 11 years. And really, I mean, when you look at it, the 11 years, which goes back to the 1st of January 2014, encompasses all of the Ukraine and China and Romania and Kazakhstan, all those millions of dollars that Hunter Biden and his Uncle Jim Biden, Joe's younger brother, raked in by selling off Joe Biden and his power and influence. And so really that means that they are protecting Joe Biden. This is a pardon for Joe Biden.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. You know, you are so right, because what it does is I expect, in addition to protecting Joe, that before he leaves, there will be pardons for his brother, his sister, Val. I mean, all the people with the LLCs. It really is a sad commentary that what he's doing now. And it's almost as though there's a stink with this family. And I don't recall this happening very often in history. Do you, Miranda?
No, I mean, I guess because it hasn't happened. I mean, no president has pardoned his son. No president has pardoned anybody for 11 years. I mean, the closest you get is Nixon, who got pardoned for the period of his presidency, and that also was a blanket pardon. But, apparently the White House, while poor old Joe is over in Angola falling asleep in meetings, his aides are busy meeting and discussing more pardons. They're talking about anybody that they think might have a problem with Donald Trump, like Anthony Fauci, Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff. They're talking about Jack Smith, giving blanket pardons.
Oh, this
Jen
is so
Rubin.
disgusting. Who's that?
She's this Washington Post nut job who wants everybody, every journalist to get a pardon. Anybody who's been involved in any proceeding that has anything to do with Donald Trump. She basically wants every left-winger, every never-Trumper, every anti-Trump, Trump-deranged person in the country to get a pardon, a blanket pardon for everything forever.
And, the sad part about that is that you never get to the truth. The American people end up, distrusting the government, and, it turns it into the whole thing into like a banana republic. And, giving all of these pardons, what it's reminiscent of, Miranda Devine, it's reminiscent of the Jeffrey Epstein case, something that I had never seen, where they gave Jeffrey Epstein immunity and another person in perpetuity. That was a Department of Justice that did that. Okay. Right. If you recall that, I remember researching that and just saying, I have never heard of this. You do not give, these blanket pardons, but, they are either convinced of their corruption. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's an admission of guilt.
Yes.
You can't accept a pardon unless you are admitting guilt. And so what that would say if they give all these people pardons is just like you mentioned with Jeffrey Epstein, there's something very fishy going on.
Yeah, very fishy, that involves the U.S. government, and it's frightening. All right, Miranda, there's so much that I want to talk to you about. I'm going to admit for the first time that I am pre-taping this, so we haven't heard the verdict on the Danny Penny case. I'm pre-taping, by the way, because I have to go to the Patriot Awards. And the Danny Penny case, I think the way it's happening, and obviously I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about, there's the Marine veteran who went on that subway car and was witness to Jordan Neely, a man who had been arrested 42 times, homeless, in the midst of a psychotic episode, mentally ill and on drugs, threatening to kill some MFer today, and he didn't care if he goes to prison for the rest of his life. So Danny Penny, of course, the jury is out. I've been reading the tea leaves. It is Thursday. The Patriot Awards are starting today. So we don't know what the verdict is, but what are your thoughts on that case? You've written a lot about it, Miranda.
Yeah, look, it never should have been brought. You've been to the court, you've seen Jordan Penny, you know what sort of a person he is. He's a hero. He stepped in to protect his fellow subway passengers with this crazy man who was mentally ill and on drugs and threatening them. And it's very sad that Jordan Neely died. Nobody wanted that. I think it's just a travesty that he was in that state and roaming free. In a civilized city, he would have been given medical treatment and not been allowed to menace his fellow New Yorkers. But that's that. And look, I think the jurors are coming probably by subway every day to court. And they know what the subway has descended into. They know that it's frightening now. You really don't feel safe. You don't have a feeling that there are going to be police around or that anyone, now, who is going to leap into the breach and protect their fellow passengers? They'll just turn a blind eye, turn away. There will be wives telling their husbands, don't you dare. I know you're going to want to be a hero. Don't jump in and protect somebody. It's really a coarsening of our society.
Very, very, very well said. It really is something that will, set a standard. You either get involved or you don't. But I think what's so stunning about this case, Miranda, is that the people who were actually on the train came back and testified. One said the other one, you could see her hand shaking, violently shaking as she's taking the video of what's going on. You've got another woman with a young child in a stroller who pulls a stroller between, the child and herself, or the child between the stroller to protect him. But there is no question that he went on that moving subway car and said, I'm going to kill somebody. Somebody's going to die. And I don't care if I go to jail for the rest of my life. And the way they described it, these are the people who were on the train, the witnesses who testified in court, it wasn't just a yelling. He was screaming, and the whole car came to a standstill. So right now you've got the Manhattan DA's office who, is looking for a reckless homicide, saying that, he didn't have to hold him. But it all is going to come down to a cause of death. The Manhattan DA's office had a level 1 medical examiner who I don't think was too bright based upon her testimony, who admits that the chief medical examiner who works for the mayor came in and got involved and changed the cause of death, saying, I don't care if he has enough fentanyl in him to kill him. They didn't wait for the toxicology. They didn't wait for the histology. They rushed to put in the cause of death as a chokehold when there weren't even petechiae, which is what you have, massive petechiae when there's any kind of strangulation or chokehold. There were like 2. And they didn't care. They admitted themselves that they didn't care what came back. Anyway, Miranda Devine, it's always great to have you on the show. And we appreciate everything that you do. You are a truth teller, and before that, a truth seeker. Ladies and gentlemen, the woman has done incredible things on major cases. So God bless you. Thanks so much for being with us today. Up next here on the Judge Jeanine Tunnel to Towers Foundation show, I will be speaking with an author, a television host, a character. He's keyed into the news. You may know him if you watch The Five. He's my favorite, Jesse Waters. Coming up right here on the Red Apple Audio Network.
The changing of seasons can affect how you feel. 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, no matter the time of year.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all. Visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.